Hey everyone, Stefano Lombardo here, and welcome to a new year and welcome back to the channel. If this is the first video of mine you're watching, hi, my name is Stefano Lombardo. I'm a portrait photographer located in Toronto, and I create photography and tech related videos. So if that sounds like content you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. I wanted to start this year off by showing you what I'll be taking to pretty much all my photo shoots this year. I like starting the year off with a video like this because you'll get to see that by the time this video goes up to the end of the year, all the little changes and upgrades we do to this kit. I should also note that everything you see in this video will be linked down below, so let's get right into it. Before we can dive inside the bag, we have to talk about the bag itself. The bag that'll house and protect all my gear is the Lowepro Protactic 350 AW2. I've had this bag for over a year now, and I think it's worth every penny. One of my favorite things that I love about this bag that I feel like I have to point out is how tough or strong it is. The bag is unlike any other bags. I've actually wiped out riding a skateboard, landing on my back with the bag on, and wasn't worried for one bit for my gear. It has a super tough build throughout the entire bag, giving you this armored protection. The bag has a decent amount of space, but nothing crazy like some of these other bags. Like if you're a photographer or videographer who has a lot of gear to lug around, then this bag is probably not for you. I would actually recommend looking into the bag's bigger brother, the Lowepro Protactic 450 AW. This bag here though has a maximum capacity of 15 liters, which is rated to hold a DSLR with a 24-70 f2.8 attached, another DSLR body, 8 lenses, and a 13-inch laptop. Because I don't have that many lenses, I usually use the extra space to carry my drone gear and my on-camera flash. It has 3 different quick access pouches, 2 on each side and then 1 at the very top, which actually comes in handy a lot more than you think because this means you don't have to open the entire bag to get access to your camera. Most bags only have 1 quick access port, but the fact that this bag has 3 is awesome. This bag has a ton of different pouches or compartments, a built-in rain cover, and you can even carry your tripod. It also has these straps on the outside of the bag where you can attach anything you want. These straps are everywhere on the backpack, including the actual straps themselves. And so that's where I have this clip. This is the Peak Design Capture clip. I think every photographer that I know has one of these, but if you don't know what it is, let me tell you. The Peak Design Capture clip comes in 2 parts, the clip itself and then the mount. The clip is what you see here on the camera bag strap, and this is a mount which is screwed into the 1/4-inch tripod mount on the bottom of your camera. This capture clip allows you to attach your camera to the bag at any time. So if you need to warm up your hands because you live in Canada like me and the winters are cold, or maybe you need to grab something out of your pockets, whatever you need to use your hands for, this is great because you don't need to put your camera back into your backpack every time you need your hands. I used to use this a lot when I was shooting street photography because sometimes I would be walking around for 2 to 3 hours a day holding my camera, and then my wrist would hurt the rest of the day. You can also disconnect the camera pretty fast so you never miss a shot. Let's dive inside this bag. First things first, we have the camera, which I'm using to film this video, but it's a Canon EOS R. I'm not going to explain too much about this camera, but if you are interested in this camera, I posted a video a couple months on it, so you can click up here to watch it. But this camera has been amazing to me. There's so many great things about this camera with really only a couple downsides. It has a full frame 30.3 megapixel sensor, which is great for printing photos or cropping in. It shoots in RAW for photos and C-Log for video. For video, it shoots in 1080p all the way up to 60 frames per second and 4K up to 30 frames per second. And this is where I think the EOS R could have been better. It would have been so much better if it didn't have that 4K crop and could shoot in 4K up to 60 frames per second and 1080 up to 120 frames per second. If there was some sort of update pushed by Canon to fix those frame rates and the 4K crop, I think this camera would be one of the best all-around cameras for both video and photo. Again, if you want to watch a video I made on the camera, you can click up here. Let's move on to the most important pieces of gear in the bag, which are lenses. I only carry 3 lenses in my bag, and that's because those are all I really use. So let's talk about the first one, the Sigma 35mm 1.4. When I tell you this lens doesn't come off my camera, I'm serious. This lens is on my camera when I start the photo shoot, and this is the lens that's on my camera when I finish the photo shoot. It's wide enough to capture a little bit of the environment in your portraits, but not too wide where your subject looks distorted. It's super sharp and the quality is seriously on another level. Not to mention the bokeh you get with this lens is so good. Next is a Canon 24-70mm f4. I don't have it with me because it's on my camera right now filming this video, but this is in my bag for any time I need the focal length or I'm shooting video. I actually like to use this lens when I'm shooting in a studio with a lot of artificial light because I can bring up that aperture and really capture a lot of detail in my model's skin. The last lens I keep with me is the Canon 50mm f1.8 or the Nifty 50. This is definitely the least used lens in the kit, and that's not because any particular reason. I just think the image quality and style of the 35mm can't be beat. However, before buying the 35mm, this was the only lens I used, and it seriously is one of the best lenses you can buy on a budget. For $100 or so, this is a must-have for your kit. Next is my on-camera flash, which is a Godox TT685C, which basically means it's a version that works with Canon cameras. I don't really use this flash often because I rarely shoot in the evenings or when it's dark, unless I'm shooting a wedding, and that was the main reason why I bought this flash. But lately, I found this flash to be way more useful than just shooting in the dark. I've been using this flash for product photography when I don't want to pull out my huge video light. I've also really been digging this vintage flash photography look I've been getting when taking portraits. Next is the iPad Air 4. If I'm out and about and shooting portraits downtown, then it doesn't come with me, but for studio shoots, it does. It comes with me because I can actually tether my camera to it so the client can see the photos in real time as I'm shooting. I do that by using this app called Cable. If you want to see a video on that, I'll link it down below, or you can click up here. But this iPad has been amazing because it's so portable and powerful at the same time. To make tethering possible with the iPad, you need two accessories, one being a USB-C cable to connect your camera to the iPad, and the other being a USB-C hub. So when I do bring the iPad, these are thrown in the bag as well. I keep a ton of accessories in my bag that I only use in certain situations, but they still come to every photo shoot in case I need them. First one being the Peak Design Slide Light. If I'm shooting for a long period of time like a wedding, then I'm pulling out that camera strap and using it. The reason why Peak Design straps are so much better than manufacturer straps is because of these little anchors. These basically allow you to quickly disconnect and connect other Peak Design products. I also keep backup anchors in the bag as well. Next is a Peak Design cuff strap, which is probably one of those accessories I use the most. The cuff strap is great for those portrait sessions because I can hang the camera off my wrist and still give direction to the model. It's also not as constricting like the strap. And yes, you guessed it, it does connect to the camera using the same anchors. The Peak Design capture lens also stays in my bag, and this is actually one of the coolest products I think I've ever used. If you've never seen this before, it basically lets you switch out lenses super fast so you don't have to dig into your bag every time. The only time I really use this is if I'm shooting weddings because I don't want there to be any downtime where I'm not shooting and potentially miss a shot. I also keep an EOS R Battery Grip in case I'm ever away from my bag and I want the extra batteries in the camera. Again, this is usually when I'm at a wedding and I'm not carrying my bag for the entire day. Next is this cheap filter pouch I got on Amazon, which holds my 3 filters. I guess I could call this my 24-70 filter pouch because I only carry 77mm filters, which are for that lens. In this pouch, I keep one cheap UV filter to protect the lens, but because it was cheap, it has gotten scratched up and that's why I don't use it anymore. But we also have a CPL filter and a variable ND filter, both made by K&F Concept. In the bag, I also have a Rode Videomic Pro, which is not really photography related, but if I'm filming anything like B-roll or content for social media while I'm at a shoot, the Videomic Pro is great for that. In this pouch, I keep a Samsung T7 SSD hard drive, which is also kept in the bag if I wanted to view or back up the photos at the photo shoot. Again, I use the iPad to back up my photos using the USB-C hub and cable. I also keep this iPhone SD card reader, and this actually comes in handy for those social media videos or if I want to post something quick to my Instagram story from my camera. I can quickly access those files on my camera from my iPhone using this. You also can't forget to keep a cleaning kit, lens brush, and an air blower. Okay, speaking about SD cards, we can't forget about the most important accessories I bring to a shoot, and that's SD cards and batteries. I keep my SD cards in this waterproof case you can find really cheap on Amazon. The SD cards I've been using lately have been the SanDisk 64GB Extreme Pros because they're amazing cards and really cheap. They also have the 128GB version, which is in my camera right now filming this video. As much as I love these cards, I always feel like I'm gonna break or snap them when plugging them into my card reader, and that's with every SD card in general. So later on this year, I may upgrade to either Sony Tough cards or another alternative. Moving on to batteries, I don't even know where to start. I have so many in this bag. I have 5 LPE6 batteries, which are the batteries for my Canon EOS R. 3 of them are the official Canon batteries, and the other 2 are made by a company called RAVpower. Canon EOS R doesn't drain batteries as fast as other cameras, so I could usually get through a full day of shooting on one battery. I just recently had a video project, and I recorded at 4K for about 4 hours straight, and the battery was still full by the end of the day. I also keep extra AA batteries for my Godox Flash and my Godox X Pro trigger, which I forgot to talk about. This is a Godox X Pro trigger, and basically I use this if I want to control my Godox on-camera flash off my camera. So let's say I wanted to set up my on-camera flash on a light stand with an umbrella, I can control it using this trigger, as well as a few 9-volt batteries for my Rode Videomic Pro. So I usually keep extra batteries on me for emergency purposes, and I would highly recommend you do the same. That's basically everything that I bring to a portrait photo shoot, but the inside of this bag actually changes a lot. Like if I'm traveling, I'll pack my drone, or if I have a video shoot or I'm shooting later in the evening, I'll bring my small video lights. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, everything in this video is linked down below if you wanna check them out for yourself. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite gear of all time is, or your favorite gear that's in your bag right now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, make sure to subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified when I post a new video. Peace.